I'm a Disney World annual pass holder. Tell me why it's safe for me and my family now to go back to Disney.
We've done everything we can to open up responsibly, taking the guidance of local health officials, state health officials, national health officials, plus our own well-qualified doctors on staff to create an environment, to create new operating procedures, to create new policies, to do new training, new standards of hygiene.
Obviously, Central Florida is incredibly hot during the summer. How do you guys plan to enforce people wearing masks inside of the park since it's a mandatory guideline?
Well, so far our experience has been that the guests have been very cooperative when it comes to wearing the masks. I think that's really going to be part of the contract of coming to Walt Disney World in any capacity. We're going to enforce that rule. It's for everybody's safety. We've had a great experience in Shanghai, and so far the experience at Disney Springs after only a short week is that guests are willing because they know it's for everyone's good. And yes, it's a little warm and humid, but when you're having a lot of fun, I've had this mask on pretty much the whole day, and you just forget about it after a while, and I think that's going to be part of maintaining the magic.
The first phase will be at limited capacity, the plan said today, but it didn't say how much of a limited capacity would be. Can you tell me, is it 25%, 50%?
So what we're doing is using the 6-foot social distancing in order to set what the capacity should be. And the capacity that we're going to open up with is actually slightly below where we really think we can reside with that 6 feet. We won't open up a park unless we can at least cover our variable cost, essentially, the cost to operate the park. So then beyond that, it becomes a question of trying to cover your overhead and your capital expenses that you have. And we'll make some baby steps towards that, but we won't be essentially losing money.
Parks closed, you eliminate the risks of any guests or employees getting sick. That's the benefit of being closed. Unfortunately, that puts a lot of your employees out of work, or at least furloughed for now. How do you balance those risks at each park?
That essentially is the million-dollar question that I think all municipalities, as well as people that operate theme parks as large as Disney theme parks, have to deal with. To some extent, there's a trust that's built up, I think, in Walt Disney Company that will operate responsibly when we do decide to open up. But we've got a myriad, layers upon layers upon layers of defenses against this virus. And whether it's temperature checks, we're going to be doing temperature checks daily for our cast members when they come to work every day.
Back visitors. CNN's Natasha Chen is following this for us. Natasha, what are we learning? How fast is this going to happen?
Walt Disney.
Just moments ago, Walt Disney World announced its plans to reopen doors and welcome back visitors. CNN's Natasha Chen is following this for us. Natasha, what are we learning? How fast is this going to happen?
Walt Disney World, John, is actually going to be the latest of the major theme parks in Orlando to reopen if their plan is approved. What they've proposed, and we'll show you on this screen, is to open 2 of its theme parks on July 11th and the other 2 on July 15th. So Magic Kingdom, that flagship theme park there, will be first on July 11th along with Animal Kingdom. Keep in mind that Animal Kingdom is the type of park where there is a lot of outdoor space. And then on July 15th, you're going to have Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios reopen again.
But also, we've sent them each their own personal thermometer so that they can take their temperatures even before they show up to work. So we've got so many layers that we believe that we can open up responsibly, even though there is still a risk out there, and it's up to everybody to sort of evaluate that risk given their own personal situation.
Are you guys prepared to close down again if there is a significant second wave later this year?
Well, one of the reasons why we're moving so slowly and so deliberately and so cautiously is that we hope to avoid that type of situation. And we think by moving very cautiously and deliberately that we can mitigate the chances of that happening.
Disney says they'll be managing attendance with a new reservation policy for when people come into the parks. It's something pass holders tell me they'll embrace to feel safer during this coronavirus pandemic.
We live pretty close. We can see the fireworks from our backyard.
Melinda Girardi also considers Disney her family's playground. They've been pass holders for 10 years.
We'll do lunch, do a couple rides, go home. It's great.
Although she's eager to get back to the parks when Disney plans to reopen Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom July 11th and Epcot and Hollywood Studios July 15th, she's going to give it some time.
Maybe a week or two just to make sure that the kinks worked out, they have everything under.
If this is all approved. Now, how this works is that the Economic Recovery Task Force that they're presenting to right now is going to vote. This then is considered by the Orange County mayor. And all things considered, it looks like the mayor would be making his decision rather quickly because county staff have already been making site visits to the theme parks on Tuesday of this week. And then that goes to the governor of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida would then approve this plan. That also happened very quickly for Universal last week, so that's what we expect here.
I know a lot of people are waiting to get back in.
Stacy Grossman has her Magic Band in her car while the parks have been closed.
I moved here from South Florida, from Coral Springs, just so that myself and my fiance could be closer to Disney.
But she doesn't plan to try and go back to the parks until the fall or winter.
I still have a little bit of concerns that it might be a little too soon to reopen, but the idea of having the reservations, the mask, those are all really good things.
With a new reservation policy, Disney says existing ticket holders and annual pass holders will be able to make reservation requests in phases before new tickets are sold. We'll be reaching out to these guests soon to provide additional details.
I'm nervous about people showing up and not saying like they didn't know about reservations. So I hope that Disney makes it pretty clear.
Victoria Hutchinson is glad to see pass holders prioritized and hopes with Disney's new mask requirement, there are more ways to stay cool in the Florida heat.
Water fans or water misters.
Like and share this video and subscribe to channel for videos on trending topics in US and Canada.